Myself, Professor Shobha Mengane, Department of Physics, SVKT College, Devali Camp. Today's lecture is SYBSc Physics Paper 2nd, that is Electronics. And the chapter name is Study of Transistors. And today's unit is Bijunction Transistor. Session agenda is construction and circuit symbol of BJT, operating principle of transistor, specification parameters, transistor configurations, characteristic of common base configuration. Learning objectives, construction and circuit symbol of UJT. We have to study construction and study circuit symbol of UJT, operating principle, specification parameters, transistor configurations, and characteristics of common base configuration. Transistor is a three-terminal device which is used for the amplification. It is having two junctions and therefore there are three regions are there, and these regions are having specific names: emitter, base, collector. Emitter is heavily doped, base is lightly doped, and collector is having larger area. For NPN transistor, the function of emitter is to emit or inject electrons into p-type base. The function of base is to pass the electrons injected from emitter to pass to the collector, and collector is the function of collector is to collect the electrons which is passed by from the base, and collector is having larger area to collect the more and more electrons. This is the NPN transistor. Similarly, in PNP transistor, N-type is sandwiched between two p-type materials, and therefore here two junctions are there. The function of emitter in PNP transistor is to inject the holes, because in p-type material majority carriers are the holes, and therefore function of this p-type emitter is to inject holes or holes into base. The function of base is to pass the holes to the collector. Some holes will be combined with the electrons and will get base current, and then remaining is give a pass to the collector, and collector will collect the holes. Now, circuit symbols for NPN and PNP transistor is according to conventional current direction. In case of NPN transistor, electron flow is on the emitter side, but conventional direction of the current is opposite to that, and therefore in the diagram the arrow shows that the direction of conventional current, means direction of conventional current and direction of electron flow is opposite to each other, and therefore it is outward for NPN transistor, and for PNP transistor it is inward, because electron flow is outward and holes direction of current is inward to the base. Now, operating principle. Now, we know that as there are two junctions are there, then there are four possible combinations of biasing. Biasing means to apply the voltage. Forward bias means to p-type material we have to apply positive voltage, and for n-type we have to apply negative voltage. Now, and for reverse bias means to apply positive voltage to n-type and negative voltage to p-type. In operating principle, out of all these four combinations, here four possible combinations are there. Both junctions are forward bias, both junctions are reverse bias, or emitter junction is forward and collector junction is reverse, or emitter is reverse and collector is forward. But out of these, for operating principle or for amplifying action, the emitter junction, emitter based diode or emitter based junction, or it is also called as emitter junction, is always forward bias, and collector based junction or collector junction is always reverse bias, and that is why we have connected emitter is N-type is connected to negative terminal of VEB, and base which is of P-type is connected to positive of VEB, means base emitter junction is forward bias. Now, on the other side, here collector is connected to positive terminal of the battery. collector is of N type, it is connected to positive terminal of the battery, and P type base is connected to negative terminal of the battery. Means this junction, that is collector base junction, is reverse bias. Now we will see the action of this. Now for NPN transistor, in N type material, their majority carriers are the electrons, and these electrons are repelled by the negative terminal of the battery, that is VEB. Then these are having energy, and they will cross the emitter base junction. In base is, as we know that as base is lightly doped and it is very thin, and therefore the very small number of electrons will combine with the holes, and they will miss free electrons will become valence electron, but 5% or less than that 5% will be combined with the holes, and remaining 95% or more than 95% will be passed to collector junction. Now these electrons which pass the collector junction, they will be now in the collector, they are collected by the collector, and they will go to the positive of the battery, that is VCB. And this is the operating principle of NPN transistor. Similar to that, for PNP transistor, only instead of electrons there will be holes, and polarities will be changed only, and the working is same. Specification parameters. PNP and NPN transistor means according to manufacturing, if N type is sandwiched between two P type materials, it will be PNP type, and if P type material is sandwiched between two N type material, then it will be NPN transistor. Means there are two types of transistor according to manufacturing, that is PNP and NPN. Now the specific parameters are, second is they are silicon and germanium. Means either they are made up of silicon or germanium. We know that silicon is very cheap and it is having high band energy gap. It is about 1.1 electron volt, and therefore for silicon the minority carriers are less, and therefore there is less leakage current. Germanium is the material, it is very costly, and in germanium the leakage current is high, and therefore generally silicon transistors are used for the operation, but both are used, but silicon are frequently used in the circuits. Now see, the example of silicon transistor is BC107147, and examples of germanium transistor is AC125, AC127. Transistors are again classified or types according to frequency range. That is, low frequency range means low frequency transistors are having frequency up to 3 megahertz. Medium frequency transistors are having frequency range from 3 megahertz to 30 megahertz. High frequency transistors are having range 30 megahertz to 300 megahertz, and the frequency above 300 megahertz, they are called as, these transistors are called as micro transistors. Then power transistors and small signal transistors, according to power they are again classified as power transistors and small signal transistors. For low power transistors, the rating is up to 0.3 watts, and examples for this is BC107, 147 are low power transistors. Medium power transistors are having rating 0.3 to 3 watts, and examples are SL100, SK100. And high power transistors are having power rating more than 3 watts. Transistor configuration. As we know that there are 3 terminals of the transistor. Now, but when we connect the transistor in a circuit, we must have input and output. For input we require 2 terminals, and for output we require 2 terminals. Means total 4 terminals are there, but we have only 3 terminals are available, and therefore by taking one of the terminal common, we can have 3 configurations. First is a common base connection, means in this case base is common to input and output. Then common emitter connection. In this case emitter is common, means input is taken between base and emitter, and output is taken between collector and emitter. And third is common collector connection, means input is in between base and collector and output is in between emitter and collector. Then out of these three, we will see first one, that is common base configuration or common base connection also. Now for this circuit diagram is like this. For NPN transistor, we can see that here for this configuration also we will take as a operating principle, that is emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. Here in NPN transistor we can see that VEB, the polarity of VEB is such that it is negative is to the N-type emitter and positive of VEB is to the P-type base. Similar to that, here collector is reverse bias, collector is N-type, it is connected to positive of VCB and base is connected to negative of this. Means emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. In this case, input is taken between emitter and base and output is taken between collector and base. For PNP transistor also, it is like this, only polarities are changed. Means for positive P-type emitter, positive terminal of battery is connected, and for P-type collector for VCC, it is negative terminal of the battery is connected. For common base configuration or connection, this is an important factor, that is current amplification factor, that is alpha. And alpha is defined as ratio of output current to the input current. In this circuit, output current is collector current and input current is emitter current. And therefore, alpha is equal to IC upon IE. And we know that IE is equal to IC plus, and therefore alpha is always less than 1, or it is maximum value is 1, but value of alpha is can be taken as a 1 or will be 1 only when alpha the base is very thin. But when alpha is equal to 1, this is an ideal case. But we can define alpha in another way also. Alpha is equal to change in collector current to change in emitter current at constant VCB. Mathematically, we can show alpha is equal to IC upon IE, or alpha is equal to delta IC upon delta IE at constant VCB. In this here, we have to find out the expression for the alpha. IE, that is emitter current, is addition of or sum of collector current and base current, that is IC plus IB. Now, when we consider about the collector current is combination of two currents. One is that is when at the input there is a emitter current, which is amplified by this relation, that is alpha is equal to IC upon IE, and therefore IC will become alpha into I. But along with this here, as collector junction is reverse bias, there is leakage current, that is ICBO. Means when I is equal to 0, though I is equal to 0, there is collector current, and this collector current is the only leakage current, that is ICBO 0. That is collector to base current when emitter current is 0. And therefore, this relation can be written as IC is equal to alpha into value of IE is equal to IC plus IB plus ICBO. Now, by rearranging the terms, we can have IC into 1 minus alpha. We can take alpha IC on the left hand side and take out the IC common, and we have IC into 1 minus alpha is equal to alpha IB plus ICBO. And therefore, IC is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha into IB plus ICBO divided by 1 minus alpha. Means we can say that the collector current depends on IB and ICBO. Now, second configuration or connection is common emitter connection. For common emitter connection, input is taken between base and emitter, means input current is a base current, and the output is taken between collector and emitter, and therefore output current is collector current, and output is taken across RC, means at the collector. Now in this case here we know that I baga, we can say I is equal to IC plus IB. IC and IB are inward and I is outward. And in this case also emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. Any NPN transistors, the polarities of VEB is according to forward bias and polarity of VCC is according to reverse bias of collector junction. Similarly to PNP transistor also it is like that. Only polarities are changing. In base is P type, in PNP transistor base is of N type and therefore P type base is N type base is connected to negative terminal of the battery and emitter is connected to positive and collector is reverse bias, therefore collector is connected to negative terminal of the battery via RC. For collector, for common emitter connection, base current amplification, we have to see base current amplification factor, that is beta, and beta is defined as output current upon input current again, because it is amplification factor and it is IC upon IB, or we can write it as beta is equal to delta IC upon delta IB, that is change in collector current. It is the ratio of change in collector current to the change in base current. Now we have to find out relation between alpha and beta, where alpha is the current amplification factor for common base configuration and beta is base current amplification factor for common emitter configuration. Now beta is equal, we know that beta is equal to delta IC upon delta IB and alpha is equal to delta IC upon delta I. Now IE is equal to IC plus IB. Then we can change in emitter current, that is delta IE can be written as delta IC plus delta IB. By rearranging terms we can have a delta IB is equal to delta IE minus delta IC. As we know that beta is equal to delta IC upon delta IB in upper relation. Now delta IC will be as it is, but instead of delta IB we can substitute, that is delta IE minus delta IC. Then beta is equal to, for this relation, divide numerator and denominator by delta E. Then on the right hand side we can say that beta is equal to delta IC upon delta I divided by delta IE divided by delta I will be 1 and minus delta IC upon delta I. And therefore beta is equal to, we know that delta IC upon delta I is alpha and therefore beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha. And this is the relation of beta in terms of alpha. Now, and here the value of beta is always greater than 1 and the general range of this beta is from 20 to several hundreds, 100, 100, 200 like this. This factor is very important for amplification because in common emitter configuration beta is very high and therefore the common input configuration or connection is used for the amplification. From this relation beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha, we can have a relation that is alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. This relation can be rearranged like this. In this case, as beta is greater than 1 and alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta, we can say that alpha is less than 1. Now, third or last configuration is common collector configuration. For common collector configuration, collector is common and output is taken at the emitter. See we can see that RE is the emitter current and output is taken along the across the emitter. Here also base input junction is forward bias, output junction is reverse bias. Collector is N type and therefore for NPN collector is connected to positive terminal of the battery here. This is for NPN transistor. For PNP transistors, you can see the circuit here. The direction of the current and polarities are according to forward bias of at the input and reverse bias at the output. Now we can have a common collector configuration as common emitter connection also like this. Only output is taken at the emitter, and this circuit is also called as emitter follower because whatever at the input will be at the output, and means we have connected by IC is directly connected to VCC, and output is taken across RE, means at the emitter we have taken output, and here this is common collector configuration, which is also called as emitter follower. And in this common collector configuration, the collector is not at DC ground, it is directed to AC ground. Now we will see the characteristic of common base configuration. In common base configuration, circuit is like this. We can see that an emitter is connected to milliammeter, then voltmeter, then through variable resistor or potentiometer we have connected VE. Means by changing the position of variable of the rheostat, we can change the voltage applied to the emitter base junction, and we can measure VEB by voltmeter, and current in milliamperes, which can be measured by milliammeter, and direction of current I is like this, shown in a figure. Collector is reverse bias via, means there is a potential divider arrangement, that is VCC. The fixed terminals of the rheostat are connected to VCC, and variable is connected here, and this variable terminal is connected to collector of the transistor, and this collector junction is reverse bias, and therefore positive, the voltmeter and milliammeter, they are connected like this. In this case, both input current and output current are in milliamperes and voltage in volts. We can see the input characteristics, but before input characteristics we can have the circuit. We can concentrate on the circuit. Input characteristics. By keeping output constant and changing input current and voltage, we can draw the input characteristics. In this case, by keeping VCB constant and change VEB and measure I, and by measuring E and VEB, the graphs are plotted. Along y-axis there is emitter current in milliamperes, IE is there, and along x-axis there is a VEB in volts, that is 0.2, 0.4, 0.6 and so on. Now up to 0.6 voltage for silicon, for up to 0.6 voltage, as the voltage is less than knee voltage, the current remains 0. But as VEB is greater than knee voltage or potential barrier, then from this here the current IE increases for a small change in VEB, and the graph is plotted for VCB is equal to 1 volt. Then second, then we keep VCB is equal to 10 volt, and same procedure is repeated, and we can increase the voltage VEB and measure IE, and we get a graph for 10 volt, and we get a graph of 20 volt also. And in this graph we can analyze this graph, or we can interpret this graph like as, means we can say that the graph is independent of VCB. It will only depend on the input of V. We can say that for 1 volt, for 10 volt, for 20 volt, the graphs are very near to each other. And in this case, we can measure the input resistance, that is Ri, and Ri is equal to delta VEB upon delta I. Then output characteristics for common base configuration. Circuit is same, but in this case, by keeping input constant and change the output. Means in this case, we keep I is equal to constant and change VCB and measure IC. And graphs are plotted. On the x-axis, there is VCB, and on the y-axis, there is a collector current, that is in milliamperes. And for different values of I, that is I is equal to 1 milliampere, 2 milliampere, 3 milliampere, and so on, the graphs are plotted. From the graphs, we can say that up to 1 volt, there is small change in collector current due to the change in VCB, collector to base voltage. And after 1 volt, if voltage is greater than 1 volt, in that case, the collector current is almost constant, and it is independent of VCB. Similar graphs are for different values of I, and we have this. Now in this graph is divided into 3 regions, that is active region, cutoff region and saturation region. Cutoff region means here in the when E is equal to 0 milliampere means when emitter is open, then current is only leakage current, and this is cutoff region. And in cutoff region, both junctions, that is emitter junction and collector junction, both are reverse bias. On the beyond the 0 volt or beyond this minus 1 volt for VCB here, we have a saturation region, because here both junctions, that is emitter junction and collector junction, are forward bias, and this is saturation region. And the white region here is there, that is called as active region, which is used for the amplification of the amplification purpose of the transistor. Or when we use the transistor as amplifier, it must be in active region, and in active region emitter base junction is forward bias and collector base junction is reverse bias. This is the output characteristic of common base configuration. Then this is the assignment for you, that is define alpha and beta and state the relation between them. With suitable diagram, give the construction of BJT. Summary. In this lecture, we have seen construction and circuit symbol, operating principle of transistor, specification parameters, different configurations, and characteristics of common base configuration. In next lecture, we will see characteristic of common emitter configuration, transistor biasing, transistor as an amplifier, transistor load line analysis, transistor as a switch. Thank you.